It was supposed to be an upbeat and celebratory morning on The View, the kind of show that blends humor, heart, and spirited conversation. The guest of honor was Jennifer Lawrence, an actress beloved for her extraordinary talent and unfiltered personality. The studio audience was electric as she walked out onto the stage, dressed in a sleek black suit that gave her an air of effortless power. She greeted Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny Hostin, and Sarah Haynes with warmth, exchanging hugs and laughs as the applause echoed through the room. From the first moments, it seemed destined to be one of those interviews that reminded viewers why they loved live television, a balance of star power and sincerity. But beneath the glossy surface, there was a crackling tension waiting to erupt, one that would soon dominate headlines and ignite fierce debate across social media. The opening moments were filled with laughter. Jennifer spoke candidly about her latest film, a tense political thriller that had already drawn critical acclaim. She shared funny stories from the set, teased her co-stars, and spoke about the joy and challenge of playing a role so layered and intense. The hosts listened with admiration, their questions playful and engaging. The audience clapped and laughed in all the right places, enchanted by Jennifer's charm and wit. For a while, everything flowed as smoothly as anyone could have hoped. But as often happens on The View, the conversation began to shift from movies to the real-world issues they reflected, from art to activism, from entertainment to the fault lines running through the culture at large. It was Joy Behar who steered the conversation into more controversial waters. With a characteristic mix of curiosity and provocation, Joy asked Jennifer about her recent comments on politics, comments that had gone viral for their sharp critique of government dysfunction and social injustice. Joy's tone was measured, but firm as she questioned whether celebrities risked polarizing audiences when they spoke so forcefully on divisive issues. The air in the studio grew more still, the audience leaning in as the mood subtly changed. Jennifer at first responded thoughtfully. She spoke of her sense of responsibility, of the platform she had been given and her determination to use it for good. She spoke of injustice, of inequality, of the urgency she felt to speak out where she saw harm being done. But Joy wasn't done. She pressed further, challenging Jennifer to reflect on whether the fierceness of her rhetoric sometimes hindered the dialogue she sought to promote. Did she worry, Joy asked, that passion could sometimes alienate rather than persuade? Jennifer's smile faded. She straightened in her seat, her expression shifting from easy humor to intense focus. Her voice grew stronger, her words more deliberate. As she spoke of the cost of silence, of the danger in prioritizing comfort over truth, she argued that calls for civility were too often used as shields for inaction, that the time for polite conversation had long since passed in the face of so much injustice. The tension between them thickened with each exchange. Joy countered that the show was meant to be a space for dialogue, not diatribe, that the point wasn't to shout, but to listen, to build bridges, to find common ground. Jennifer's frustration was visible now, her gestures more animated, her voice rising with each word as she defended her right, her duty to speak plainly and passionately about the issues that mattered. The audience, once laughing and clapping, fell quiet, sensing the storm that was gathering between two women both unwilling to back down from their principles. The other hosts exchanged wary glances, unsure whether to intervene or let the moment play out. What began as spirited debate soon spiraled into open conflict. Jennifer spoke of the pain she saw in the world, of communities abandoned, of voices silenced, of the rage that comes from watching change come to slowly or not at all. She accused media platforms, including shows like The View, of sometimes softening the truth for the sake of comfort, of turning urgent issues into polite talking points. Joy's voice stayed calm, but her words were sharp as she reminded Jennifer that change required strategy, that passion without focus could alienate those whose support was needed most. Their words clashed like waves against rock, each standing firm in the storm. The breaking point came suddenly, a spark that ignited the fire. Jennifer, her face flushed with emotion, pushed back from the table. The scrape of her chair rang loud in the hushed studio. She stood, tall and unflinching, her voice shaking not with fear but with fury as she declared that she would not sit there and have her convictions minimized or debated as if they were mere topics for casual conversation. The audience gasped, stunned into silence by the rawness of the moment. Joy, surprised but composed, said she was sorry Jennifer felt that way, that no disrespect had been intended, but Jennifer had made up her mind. Without another word, Jennifer turned and strode off the set, her heels clicking against the floor, her posture proud and defiant. The cameras caught her exit, the tension so thick it seemed to vibrate in the air. The producers, caught off guard, hastily cut to commercial, the usual theme music playing awkwardly over the charged silence left behind. When the show returned, the mood was somber, the easy rhythm of light-hearted banter replaced by quiet reflection. Joy addressed the audience directly, expressing her respect for Jennifer's passion and her regret that the conversation had ended as it did. The remainder of the episode felt subdued, the spark that had filled the room now replaced by a thoughtful hush. Online, the incident spread like wildfire. Clips of Jennifer's storm-off went viral within minutes, shared and reshared by millions. Opinions were sharply divided. Some hailed Jennifer as a hero, a woman unafraid to stand up for her beliefs, unwilling to temper her truth for the sake of appearances. Others praised Joy for keeping her composure, for trying to guide the conversation toward dialogue rather than division. Commentators and pundits weighed in, dissecting every word, every gesture, every glance in search of meaning. The clash became a cultural moment, a flashpoint in the ongoing debate about the role of celebrities in activism, about the tension between passion and patience in public discourse. In the days that followed, both women spoke publicly about the moment. Jennifer, in interviews, stood by her words and actions, expressing regret that things had grown so heated but reaffirming her belief that urgency was needed in times of injustice. Joy, in a later broadcast, reflected on the exchange, praising Jennifer's dedication while lamenting that passion and dialogue had collided rather than connected. Behind the scenes, those who had been present spoke of the intensity of the moment, the electricity that filled the room, the reminder of why live television still had the power to shock, provoke, and move. And so, the morning Jennifer Lawrence stormed off The View became more than just a headline. It became a symbol of the challenges we face in trying to speak truth and build bridges at the same time. It became a reminder that passion and principle, while vital, must somehow be balanced with listening and understanding. For those who witnessed it, in the studio or at home, it was a moment they would not soon forget, a moment that showed how high the stakes can be when convictions clash in the public eye.